Okay. Here the differential equation is given as d raised to 4x upon dt raised to 4. So your answer expected is x as a function of t. So here they have asked us to show this result. Okay. Write the given equation in the form where we have used a capital D. So how this should be written? Take all the terms on one side and take common. What is common here? What is common?
X.
X, madam.
Now, usually after this, what we write? Auxiliary equation, am I correct? What we do for auxiliary equation, we replace D by M, no? If I replace
Yes,
it, what
ma'am.
happens? What happens? If I replace,
Zero.
it becomes 0, he will not get the roots. So M is it fixed thing? It's not fixed. This we are using for our convenience. This M may be M, may be N, it may be anything. Okay. So instead of going for any number, yeah, take the whole same bracket. Don't write a x and equate it to 0. That itself is auxiliary equation. Even some teachers know they teach, they don't change it to m. They just take auxiliary equation directly. That is also correct. Are you getting the part? Okay. Now,
Yes,
here,
ma'am.
yeah, how to take now? I'm interested in getting the roots. Calculator will not help me because this is m is a general number. How can I treat this? You can see one advantage you have.
Constant.
Huh? How constant? So how I want to get the roots. So I should reduce my biquadratic into simple, maybe cubic, quadratic, or my maybe linear. This should be your intention.
A square minus B square formula
Very
use.
good. If this can be treated in the a square minus b square format, where we have the values as or the factors as a plus b and a minus b. This is d square the whole square minus m square the whole square. Correct? No? Yes. A square minus b square. A plus b into a minus b. Am I correct now? Yes. Now maybe d square plus m square is 0, or what do you have? Isn't it? Second bracket is 0. Second bracket is 0. So d square is equal to minus m square. So what will be d then? Plus or minus root of
Plus
minus
or
m square,
minus.
no? Simplify. M
Mi,
square is
plus
m.
or minus mi.
Yeah,
Mi.
yes. And root of minus 1 is written as I. Very good. Similarly, d square is equal to m square now because I'm taking here. So what will be d then?
Plus or minus m.
Yes. So which type of roots here? First is
Complex.
complex roots. These are
Real roots.
real and equal or unequal?
Distinct.
Distinct. Real and distinct. Correct? Okay, let us write then the solution. Only care you have to take that. You should write x as a function of t format. Huh? Okay, therefore, general solution is x equal to, okay, for complex root, how we write? What is the real part of this? 0.
One.
So e raised to 0
0.
is 1. So if you write or don't write, it won't matter. So let me write for the imaginary part. How to write? C1 cos of mt, C2 sine of mt. Correct? Am I right with this? Outside actually you have e raised to 0
Yes, ma'am.
t. Yeah, e raised to 0 t. So this is written for this complex. How to write for this plus or minus m? They are real and distinct. So for each you should write it as constant e raised to that root into x. Correct?
C3 ma.
Mt. Yeah, sorry, C3. C3 e raised to mt, and for minus m.
C4 e to the power minus mt.
Minus mt. Okay. Let us compare. This is what we are getting the general solution, and this is what is asked. Are they matching? No.
No, ma'am.
Where it is different. Where it is.
Hyperbola.
Yeah, it is hyperbolic function. Yeah, C1, C2 same. C1, C2 are same. but you are having here exponential and here it is hyperbolic, means what has to be done? You should convert exponential in terms of hyperbolic. Am I right? This is not required. They have asked us to prove it. Okay. So for that, we'll use some relation. Do you remember the relation between hyperbolic and exponential? Huh? Do you know? I know you have not learned about hyperbolic, but you should remember because we have got so many problems on that. See, sine hyperbolic x is defined as e raised to x. Anybody remembers? E raised to x minus e raised to minus x divided by 2. And cos hyperbolic x is, no, you are not learned hyperbolic at all. Actually, the first year some examples were there on hyperbolic. Okay, let it be. See, the change is in between there is a minus, no, here in between there is a plus. This is the change. This is the definition of hyperbolic in terms of exponential. Are you understanding? Are you understanding what is this? Say yes or no. This is a definition. This is just a definition of hyperbolic function. How to remember? Sine means in between minus, cos means plus. So how you have the terms e raised to plus x and e raised to minus x. Okay. Now, here from this, if you actually simplify it, you will get like you have a term where it is now we have to get exponential in terms of hyperbolic. This is hyperbolic in terms of exponential. So if I just shift this to here, e raised to x minus e raised to minus x is how much? Just tell me.
2 sin hx.
Yes, sin hx. Okay. Similarly, I do the same thing. E raised to x plus e raised to minus x will be what from this equation?
2 cos hx.
Yes. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll call this as again. Okay. Now what I will do, I'll just add it. I'll call this as equation 1 and equation 2. I'll just add it. If I add what I will get, see the LHS parts. Isn't it?
2
These
to the
two
power
quantities.
2.
2 times e raised to x will be here. 2 will be common. Sin hyperbolic x, cos
Sin
hyperbolic. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Similarly, if I take equation 2 minus equation 1, suppose. If I take this equation minus this equation, or else, why to again get confused? Take 1 minus 2 only. This equation minus this means you have to change the sign, no? So e raised to x minus e raised to x will be cancelled. Minus e raised to minus x minus e raised to minus x is how much?
Minus 2 into e to the power
2
minus
times e
x.
raised to minus x. Nothing much. I'm just simplifying. I'm getting a relation exponential in terms of hyperbolic. Nothing much I'm doing. Okay. So here also we have to subtract. So what will get? 2 into sine hyperbolic x minus cos hyperbolic x. Correct? Yeah. How I'll do it? No, I'll just cancel this 2. I'll just cancel 2. I send my minus that side. So what is my e raised to minus x actually? If I take a minus here. Isn't it? This is minus sine and plus cos. Am I right with this? Just observe this, I'll call it as 3 and this I'll call it as 4. So if you have e raised to plus x, to write in terms of hyperbolic, you should write sine hyperbolic x plus cos hyperbolic x. And if you have e raised to minus x, then you should write it as cos hyperbolic x minus sine hyperbolic x. Are you getting? I will use the same concept and I will simplify my exponential in terms of hyperbolic. Let me call it as equation A. Okay, therefore, equation A becomes x equal to, see first two terms same, no change with that. Because we have got that required. Only we have to change third and fourth term. C3 is also same. What I have to write? E raised to mt. Use this equation 3 and tell me what is e raised to mt to be written as. First, if I have a x, I'll get a x. Here I have a mt means I will get mt. Huh.
Ma'am, sin HMT,
Huh. Plus.
cos HMT.
Huh. Okay, so this is e raised to mt. Similarly, C4. What is e raised to minus mt? See equation 4 and tell me.
Cos H mine.
Cos hyperbolic
Cos
mt
HMT.
minus sin hyperbolic mt. Am I correct? See, very clear. Yeah. Now you can see sin hyperbolic is there in two terms, isn't it? So I'll take common. So I will not trouble the first two terms. In these two, I will take sin hyperbolic mt common. What I will get? If I take common, what I'll get here? C3. From this term, what I'll get? C4, no? Just see, these two are marked terms. Sin hyperbolic mt, if I take common, I'll get a C3. And from here, actually, minus C4. Correct? C3 minus C4. Okay? Yeah. Next, in these two terms, what is common? In these two terms. Cos hyperbolic mt, if you take common, what will get? C3 plus C4, no? Tell me what are C3 and C4? What are C3 and C4? What are C3 and C4?
Complementary function.
Huh? C3, C4. Complementary function is C4. What is C? Okay, in complementary, what C3 and C4 we have used? What they are indicating? Are they variable?
Constants.
They are constant. So if you subtract two constants, you will get a constant or a variable.
Constant.
Constant. Similarly, if you add two constants, what you will get? Isn't it? You will get one more constant. So I will write like this. First two terms as it is. See, nothing is there here. Only exponential to be expressed in expressed in terms of hyperbolic is important. So in your order, know what you have here. You have in the required result as cos hyperbolic mt. So I'll write that first. So this I will write. I will mention it as C3 dash. Okay. Similarly, this C3 minus C4 is there. No, I'll take it as C4 dash. Now check whether your answer matches or no. Where I'm taking C3 dash is C3 plus C4. I'm taking C4 dash as C3 minus C4 because they are constants. If you add or subtract two constants, you will get again a constant. Okay, here nothing much. What C1, C2 you have got, no, those can be found with the help of these conditions. That is some extension. Okay. Now, you know how to solve this equation. Tell me, is it homogeneous or non-homogeneous? D square minus
Homogeneous.
homogeneous. Huh? Okay. Yeah, it's a homogeneous equation. Solve it. So how we solve it? We write auxiliary equation, isn't it? Okay, tell me the roots. What are the roots?
1 and 4, ma'am.
1 and 4, sure. I don't think so. 1 and 4, if you multiply, you will not get a 5. You cannot split. You should go for general format. I think you'll get complex roots. Check. 4 ones are 4, but I want a product should be 5.
2 plus I, 2 minus I.
2 plus or minus I. Okay, so complex roots, how we write general solution? Y equal to, how we write first 2 plus or minus I first? E raised to 2x, huh? Is it correct? E raised to 2x cos x plus sin C1 cos x plus, sorry, I should write a C1. C1 cos x plus C2 sin x, correct? Now, what you have to do is, these conditions will help us to find the constants. Tell me actually how many conditions they have given. How many conditions they have given? They have actually given 2 conditions. So this is fixed. When x is 0, that time y is 1 and dy by dx is 2. So there are 2 conditions. So I'll call this as equation 1. Which condition I can use here? Which variables you can find in this? Isn't it you have a x and you have a y? I cannot use a dy by dx at this stage. Am I right? So I'll use this condition. Given x equal to 0, that time y is 1. So in the whole equation, where all you have x, take it as 0 and y, take it as 1. See what you will get. Y is 1. What is e raised to 0?
C1 is equal to y.
No, not y. Y is 1.
C1 is equal to 1. C1 is equal to 1.
Yes, yes, yes. C1. Cos of x is 0. What is cos 0?
1.
1, no? 1 plus C2 into. See, x you have, x has to be taken as 0. What is sin 0? 0. So entirely here, what remains on RHS? Isn't it only C1? What is the value of that? It is 1. Correct? Yeah. One more thing they have given, one more condition, dy by dx. So, to use dy by dx, tell me what I have to do. How can I get a dy by dx?
Differentiation with respect to x.
Which equation?
Equation 1.
Very good. Differentiate 1 with respect to x, you'll get dy by dx. Tell me, when differentiation, which rule has to be applied? RHS part. Product rule, correct? I'll keep e raised to 2x as it is. What is the differentiation of the bracket? What is the differentiation of bracket? C1 constant. What is the differentiation of cos x?
Minus sin x.
Minus sin x. So I'll write minus C1 sin x plus C2. What is the differentiation of sin x?
C2 cos x.
Cos x. Okay. So product rule means you'll get 2 terms here. So I'll write the bracket as it is. What is the differentiation of e raised to 2x? Now use the condition. What is the second condition? Dy by dx equal to 2 when x is 0. Yeah, this is the condition. So dy by dx value is 2. X is 0 means e raised to 0 is 1 minus c1 into, what is sin 0? Cos 0?
1.
So then here again c1 into 1, c2 into 0, 2 into e raised to 0 is 1.
0.
Okay. Yeah.
1.
Solve it. You get 2 equal to. What is the value of this bracket remaining is c2. What is here? 2c1, no?
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now substitute the value of c1. 2 equal to
1.
c2 plus 2 into 1 because c1 is 1. This will go. So c2
Yes,
is
ma'am.
0.
0.
So if there are 2 constants, you need require 2 condition to solve it completely. Okay. Now what you have to do, you have to substitute the value of c1 and c2 in equation 1, and that is called as, do you remember what it is called as? Particular solution. Okay. Yeah. So Substitute. Y equal to e raised to 2x. What is C1? 1 into cos x. C2 is 0. 0 into anything is 0. So answer is e raised to 2x cos x. This is called as particular solution. Okay. So same example they may give, like they may give some differential equation. Extension is a condition. Okay. Will you be able to solve it? Yes. This completes about homogeneous differential equations. Okay. From this part, you can expect one question. Maybe biquadratic. Okay. Maybe cubic, whatever it is. Now I will start with solution of linear non-homogeneous differential equation. Do you remember the general format of a linear differential equation which is non-homogeneous? General format. What is the form? F of d into y equal to?
Not equal to.
Not equal to phi of x. Equal to phi of x, where what is phi of x?
Phi of x is not equal to 0.
Not equal to 0. Okay. Now here, depending on this phi of x. Now when you have a non-homogeneous, so what we solved till now, no, that is called as actually CF. So general solution is given as CF plus PI. This is called as PI. PI means particular integral. This particular integral mainly depends on the RHS part. So as in case of homogeneous, RHS part was 0, so PI also was 0. Got it? So what we were writing till now, GS, whatever CF you got is the GS part. Am I right? So henceforth, if you have a RHS part, you should write what you have written, no, the roots, depending on the nature, what you have written, that quantity, no, it should be mentioned as a CF. Okay, yeah. Now, how to write it? How to get this PI? So I'll explain. So for your syllabus, this PI is actually given by 1 upon f of d into phi of x. Means how you should take for particular integral? 1 divided by. So leaving y, whatever you have, it should be taken here. 1 upon that quantity. Then what is this? Phi of x. This is the RHS part of the equation. Got it? Yes. Is it clear? At least this much part. PI, this is the general format. Now, for your study, you have got 3 cases. That is, phi of x may be exponential format of the form ax plus b. We call it as type 1 actually. Second, it may be of the form either sine of ax plus b or cos of ax plus b. Feel lucky because there were 5 cases. For your syllabus, 18 syllabus, they have reduced it into only 3. So phi of x may be of the form x raised to m or polynomial in x. See, depending on the nature of the roots, have you written the 3 different formats of CF, no? Likewise, on the RHS part of phi of x, depending on these different functions, we have to write a particular integral. Are you getting some idea? So we have only 3 cases: exponential, trigonometric, and polynomial. All 3 are different. Don't attach one to another. Today, I will discuss the first case. Okay. So this is called as case 1 or type 1. So particular integral, what is the general format? 1 upon f of d into phi of x. Am I correct? This is true for all the 3. All the 3, this is true. Now, first case, I am taking it when phi of x is what? What is phi of x?
e to the power ax plus b.
Yeah, means if you have any exponential function format, then how to do, I am going to explain. Now what you do, you replace your d by coefficient of x. What is the coefficient of x in the exponential? What is attached to x here?
E.
A. So replace your d by a. So it may happen that your f of may a, if you replace your d, all the d's, how you replace for d by m in auxiliary equation? No, same way. Replace all the d's by a in f of d. So there are two things may happen. This may not be 0 or this may be 0. Am I correct? For example, suppose if I have it as d square plus 1. D square plus 1. If I have it as okay, or I may be having at d cube plus 1, suppose. My f of d is d cube plus 1. Suppose if I have the exponential function in the format e raised to minus x. Sorry, e raised to x if I have it, suppose. So according to this procedure, what they are saying, you should replace your d by a. What is my a? What is the coefficient of x here? 1. So if I replace
1.
d by 1, what happens? Is it 0 or not 0?
2. Not 0.
Not 0. Not 0.
Not
So you should write it as 1 cube is 1 plus 1 e raised to x. This is your answer. Done. Solved part. So if it is not equal to 0, you have to replace it. Got it? Now, suppose we have same f of d. Suppose if I am having it as minus x, suppose. E raised to minus x. Then I have to replace d by what?
Minus 1.
Minus 1 only, because it is coefficient of x only. Minus 1. If I do it, what is minus 1 cube? Minus 1.
Minus 1 only.
So minus 1 plus 1, where it is happening in the denominator. If denominator is 0, quantity is infinity.
infinity.
We avoid infinity, isn't it? So if you are getting it as 0, don't replace it. So this is where if you are not getting it as 0, you should write it as 1 upon f of a e raised to ax plus b. This is your particular integral. Answer done. Okay. If f of a not equal to 0. Now suppose if f of a equal to 0, then what we have to do is multiply numerator by x and differentiate the denominator. So if you differentiate f of d, it becomes f dash of d, no? Correct? If you differentiate f of x, how you write f dash of x, no? So I'm writing f dash of d. What I did? Why I'm doing it? If suppose denominator converting to 0, if denominator converting to 0, multiply numerator by x and differentiate the denominator with respect to d. Means, for example, suppose now this is 0, confirmed, no? Multiply by x. What is the differentiation of d cube? D cube plus 1 differentiation is what? Just this denominator, don't treat it as 1 upon. Just denominator.
3d square.
3d
Yeah,
square.
this is 3d square. Okay. E raised to minus x. So we did it. Then again you have to see what is the coefficient of x here? A. Right? So again you replace d by a. D by a. So what may happen again? F dash of a may be 0, may not be 0. If it is not 0, replace it. Okay? You replace it if it is not 0. Here, just see now. If I replace d by minus 1, is it 0 or not 0?
Not 0. Ma'am.
Not 0. So replace it. That is your answer. Now, again, suppose f dash of a is again 0. If it is giving us 0, what we have to do? Can you guess? Multiply by 1 more x. Multiply by 1 more x. So what you'll get? It becomes x square. Again differentiate f dash. If you differentiate f dash, what will you get? F double dash.
F double dash.
Can you guess what has to be done then again? Can you guess? Again what has to be done after this step? Replace again your d by
Replace d by
when F double dash of A is not 0. Again, suppose it is 0, again multiply by x and differentiate. Isn't it very good way? Not to worry, it will continue for a maximum 2 steps. Even it's not for 3 steps also. Not to worry. Then after whatever, after final, no, till what you have to solve your PI, there should not be any D remaining. There should not be any D. So when it is D is eliminated, that is the particular integral. After getting particular integral, you substitute in this. GS is written as CF plus PI, where GS is Y. CF you know how to find out. Auxiliary equation, depending on the nature, write that CF. And what PI you have got, you write it. This is the answer. Got it? Isn't it non-homogeneous also is simple? Let us take an example. I'll take very simple and start with this. Okay. Now, write down d square y by dx square minus 2 dy by dx plus y equal to 3 into e raised to x. Okay, first thing you should write in terms of capital D. Tell me what is this term? Tell me the format. F of D into y equal to phi of x. This will give me which term? D square, no? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. First thing, tell me, is it
Minus.
homogeneous or non-homogeneous?
Non.
Yeah, non-homogeneous because RHS part is present here. Okay. Yeah. So this is D square minus 2D
2D
plus 1
plus
One.
1
into y
into y.
equal to 3 into e raised to x. Done. Okay. Now, don't worry about the PI now only. First, we will find CF. To find CF, we require auxiliary equation. What is the auxiliary equation? Auxiliary equation.
M square minus 2m.
Yeah. Why others forgot the procedure or what? Huh? Isn't it you should replace your d by m and equate it to 0? If you are don't want, you take this bracket only and equate it to 0. No problem. Tell me what are the roots?
1, 1.
1 and 1. Yes. So which case? Real and
Equal.
equal. So now when you write for non-homogeneous, I will not call it as GS. What I have to call it as? CF. I have to call it as CF. Remember this, huh? How to write for real and equal?
C1 plus C2x
Into
e to the power 1x.
Very good. Done.
E to the
CF
power
is
1x.
Yes. Okay, this is CF done. Now important, particular integral. See what is the format to write particular integral? 1 upon f of d into phi of x, correct? Yeah. What is my f of d? Leaving y, whatever entire thing should be written here. Means d square minus 2d plus 1. Am I correct? What is my phi of x? Compare this equation. What is my phi of x?
3 e raised to
3
x.
e raised to x. If constant is there, take along with that. Okay. Now, what is the coefficient of x? See, this is exponential. So you should remember it belongs to case 1 or type 1. Okay. Yes. What is the coefficient of x here?
1 ma'am.
1. So if you replace d by 1, what happens? 1 minus 2 plus 1. Is it 0?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Surely.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So don't replace. Don't replace. What has to be done then? Multiply numerator by x and denominator you differentiate. What is the derivative of d square? No, don't write f dash. Derivative of this term only write directly. Derivative of d square
2d minus 2.
2d minus 2.
2.
Then write e raised to x as it is. where my 3 has gone. Don't leave it. Write it. Okay. Now, again, this step is done. No. Now, again, in this step, you replace d by again same 1. Coefficient of x. What happens? 2 minus 2. 0.
0.
No? 0. So 0 means whether we have to replace s or no. Don't replace.
No, ma'am.
Don't replace.
No,
What
ma'am.
is to be done then? Multiply by 1
3x
more
square.
x. And
3x
differentiate. What is the derivative of 2d
2
minus 2? 2. Tell me, is it the
e
answer?
raised to x.
Is it the required
Yes,
answer?
ma'am.
Yeah. Is it anything to be replaced? No, there is no d. Where I replace? Huh? Is it not? This is free from d. So this is my pi. Okay, this is my pi. Then what has to be done is write it as yeah. So when pi is done, write gs. How to write? Tell me how to write cf plus pi. So in place of
pi.
gs, you write y. CF is what? CF you have got right entire thing. What is my pi? 3x square e raised to x divided by 2. One more thing, this function, whatever you have, no, it should be kept here only till you get rid of all the d's. Don't keep it here. That will be little wrong procedure. See, I shifted my 3 here, but I am still keeping my exponential here. Okay, follow this procedure. Now count the number of arbitrary constants here. Arbitrary constants.
2, ma'am.
2,
ma'am.
C1 and C2. What is the order of the differential equation?
2,
Order is
ma'am.
also 2.
2, ma'am.
So number of arbitrary constants remain as the differential order of the differential equation only, because in PI we don't have any arbitrary constants. Got it? How you are feeling? All examples are simple, not to worry. Remember the procedure, that's all. Shall I give one example? Y double dash plus 4y dash plus 5y equal to 3 into e raised to minus 2x. Yeah, try to solve it. Try to solve it. Even y double dash means d square y by dx square. So it will give me d square. 4d plus 5 into y. Correct? Homogeneous or non-homogeneous? Non-homogeneous. Yeah. Let us first find CF. Auxiliary equation. Tell me the roots. Tell me the roots.
-2. -2 plus minus I.
Very good. They are complex roots. So CF is what? How to write CF? CF.
E to the power minus
Ah.
2x.
Huh.
C1 cos 1x
C1 cos
plus
C1 cos
C2
is
sin.
C2 cos sin x.
Oh, good. Very good. Important thing is PI. Anybody got PI? So 1 upon d square plus 4d plus 5. 3 into e raised to minus 2x. Now I have to replace d by 1, no? I should replace d by, I have to replace d by 1, correct? Am I right?
-2, ma'am.
No, yeah, you should replace d by minus 2. If you replace d by minus 2, is it 0? Just check. Minus 2 square is 4 plus 4 into minus 2 is 8 minus 8 plus 5. Is it 0? Is this denominator 0 if you replace d by minus 2?
No, ma'am.
No, no means
No,
replace.
ma'am.
No means replace, or whether we have to again multiply by x and all that. If it is not
Just
0,
replace.
replace it. Replace it. Yeah, 1 upon minus 2 square plus 4 into minus 2 plus 5 Then I'll write my 3 here, e raised to minus 2x. Tell me the value of this. Minus 8 plus 7, 9. Oh, no, okay. No, 9. Plus
1,
1
ma'am.
minus 1. Yeah, it is 1. Is it pi? Is it pi? Yes. Can you find any d here, remaining d?
No, ma'am.
No, means answer is done. What is to be written next?
Yes, GS equal to CF plus
Yeah,
PR.
this step carries 1 mark. Some students know they don't write it. So evaluators don't hesitate to cut the marks. Later on, your calculation and their calculation don't match. You say they have given me less marks. You write 100% full, then there is no chance that. Yeah, this is again similar. Only one thing you can see, there are 2 terms over here. Now I'll explain how to do it if you have 2 such terms. Okay. Yeah, first part, will you solve? Will you be able to find CF? This is one example which is already solved. Actually, this is there in your list. In your notes, it is there. LHS part, same, exactly same. Anybody remembers? What are the roots? Minus 1. You'll get half plus or minus root 3 by 2i. You can just confirm it. You should show that solved part. How to get by synthetic division. That has to be shown here. Tell me CF. Yes, CF. Yeah. Now pi. This is important. 1 upon what should be written? D cube plus 1. Then see, this is a constant. How can I adjust the exponential function along with a constant? Anybody? How can I write some exponential function so that it should match? I have 3. How can I write it? Think about it.
E raised to 0, ma'am.
Very good. Isn't it? If I write e raised to 0x, is it 1?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Why I'm writing? Because I know the procedure for exponential. So I'm writing it. Okay. So that here. I think my desktop also is tired now from morning. Okay, yeah. The power of the coefficient of exponential is 0. So in the first term, you replace d by 0. Is it going to be 0 or no?
No, ma'am.
No. So replace. Yeah, replace d by 0. So get 1 upon 0 cube plus 1 e raised to 0x. Here, you should replace d by what? What is the coefficient of x? 1, no?
1.
Yeah, replace it by 1. Is it
5
0?
by 2.
No, no? Yeah.
1 by 2.
No, ma'am.
No,
Yeah.
1 by 2.
Yeah. So what is the answer now? So I'll write this simply as. So the value of this term is 3. Here it is 5 by 2 e
Plus
raised
5
to
by
x.
2 e raised to x.
Yes. What is the last step? GS. CF plus PI.